Hey y'all, I'm here with a life update. I had so many things that I wanted to share with you, and I decided I'm just going to put it in one big mega video. And I think that one of the things I really want to touch on this channel is redesigning your life with ADHD to fit your needs around time, freedom, just the things that you need to do. And I wanted to actually just share some of what I've been doing, the transition in life that's just come up for me, and how I'm handling it. I got distracted because there's like a cute little beetle right here, and I just touched it. Weird. Okay, so I'm going to talk about new transitions. So, one of the ways that I am transitioning right now is with my current role. So, I'm kind of speaking it into existence. I'm still in my current role. I don't know if you guys had been updated on this, but I was doing membership consulting for a women's virtual healthcare wellness clinic, and now I'm in clinical support, and I've been doing that for nearly a year now. So with that said, the job has changed a lot from what it originally was, and it's really just freedom that I want. So I really just want freedom, and I want to be able to find ways that work for me in terms of work. There's a lot of things that I want to spend time on that take quite a bit of time throughout my day. Like, I want to be able to cook food that is healthy for me, that helps me maintain a great internal environment, and that takes time. I want to be able to experience nature on a daily basis and fit time and to work on my body and do the stretching that I need so that I can just maintain a healthy state. And I feel like having a rigid schedule isn't in flow. So, one of the things I said I wanted to do at the beginning of the year was cycle syncing, and that is syncing up my whole entire world and my life to my cycle. And I feel like since women have fluctuating hormones, they should be able to create a life that honors that. And I feel that that is really important for ADHD as well. I feel like a woman's hormonal health and ADHD is really kind of in sync. And I'm just looking here. There's like this crazy looking spider, right? Spider web right above where I have this like camera posted up on this fence. So we just gonna leave it where it is. With that said, though, it's really pretty, but could be poisonous. I feel like, time to notice the little things, time to just go to the local market and get the fruit that I want. And I recently learned how to quickle things, which is like quick pickling. So you boil a brine, you pour it over your fruit and your herbs, and you pick all your vegetables and you pickle it, and it's done in 2 hours. And so that's something that I just learned recently, but I want to be able to do those kinds of things. And doing those things takes time. And time is something that I believe you can create more of, but you have to get rid of something and, you have to be able to manage your time well. And it's something that has taken me years to kind of get to. But right now I'm in a really good place where I'm realizing, okay, I just recently changed my schedule from a 5 day a week to a 4 day a week schedule, and I have 3 days off. Somehow, even though I feel like I have more time, I have to fit more hours in on those other days. So one of the transitions I'm looking at doing is like going back to finding a role that provides me a base pay, and where when the work is done, it's done, and I'm not technically hourly based, or they guarantee me the number of hours that I'm supposed to work. So that's one of the things that I'm working on. And I feel like when you tap into what you want and you visualize what you want, those opportunities do come to you. I did just speak to a recruiter today. She was asking me what my needs were. She's actually somebody who I used to work with. So I'm like really excited. And I spoke to another friend who put me on to some places that I could find contract work. So I think that's really important because as this current role that I'm in, they may demand more hours and things from me. I really want to make sure that I'm keeping my own needs in mind as well. And I'm not continually sacrificing for the good of this organization when I need to be making sure that I'm like, that I'm good, that I'm like centering myself. So I have a surgery coming up, and I spoke about my internal environment, and it's because I have fibroids and I'm going to be getting them taken care of via a process called Sonata, which basically uses heat to shrink them, and they break down over the next couple of months of having that. And I may also have to get a couple of like a laparoscopic procedure as well to take care of one that's like a little bit bigger. But with that said, I want to make sure that the internal environment after that remains one where fibroids don't grow back. And in order to do that, I think I need time to really change my diet and really cut down on sugar, like processed sugar, and just making sure sugar spikes are not a thing. And that may take time to source the right food, prepare the food, and make sure that my diet is on point, and also that I'm not stressed out at work and that my lifestyle allows me to have fresh air and sunlight and social time to work on artistic things, things that really like heal me and help me. So I feel as though this life transition is really going to serve that goal. And the surgery is for July 1st. So, y'all, I'm already prayed up and I already know that this is going to be a life changing surgery for me. I already am expecting levels of energy that surpass any expectation that I could have had. And I'm already expecting an amazing outcome, but definitely pray for me and envision me in that finalized state of being just so much better after the surgery. I have gotten back into reading again. So, reading is something that I used to love to do as a kid. I used to love the library, and now here I am as an adult, and I'm more of a citizen of the internet than anything else. However, I feel like having time to read is a luxury. So, I want to make sure that I make time for that. Here are the books that I'm reading right now or intend to read. And I brought them with me because I wanted to show you. So this is what I'm currently reading. It's called Daughter in Exile, and it's about a young woman who immigrated to the United States in the mid 90s. And it's all about her journey. She came here when she was pregnant. She's a daughter of privilege. Her mother is a judge back in Ghana. She had a job at the embassy in Senegal. And here she is migrating to the United States with nothing, hardly any family support besides just letters and her pride and her baby, which she has while she's in the States. And she's just going all along that journey. A simple fight over the phone with the child's father kind of ended that relationship, even though he did apologize and send her more money. That's what I don't get. Like, how could you not like try to mend the situation after that? But anyway, she was determined to do it on her own, and here we are, almost halfway done with the book, and we'll see how that goes. She's got a lot of friends that she knew from Senegal as well who helped her. She stayed with a lot of people. She got involved or connected with a couple of churches and even some family that she had in the States. So she wasn't going there completely destitute. I'm not going to paint that picture, but it was a struggle for her to regain her independence. And I think she's only just now gaining that because she got a job at the embassy in the DMV area by the time I'm there in that. Okay, so let's see. Another book I'm really happy about starting is this one, simply because of the title alone, Last Night in Brooklyn. So Brooklyn, I love a story set in Brooklyn, okay? This is about a 26-year-old Latina woman. So she is struck between this artistic life that she witnesses that's very different from the life that she's kind of setting up for herself, and this more kind of professional, elite type of life that she gets introduced to via her cousin. So I haven't even gotten into that book yet, but this is a white Latina. Okay, all right. So we'll be diving into that to see if that's worth continuing. Then we got Love by the Book. This is by a Black woman, and I am interested in it because it's about four friends who just have different experiences in life and how their stories all come together and intertwine. So that's going to be interesting. And I know I'm going to get mixed up with these friends, but here we are. My sister wrote a book that was set up that way. The structure was that way. She wrote a book called That One Moment, and it had four characters and all of their stories intertwined, and they all got to speak their story from their point of view. And then there's also a sequel, That One Moment too, which is crazy. It's just so awesome that my sister published a book. It's crazy. And this one right here, Grant Writing with AI. Look, I feel like in this world of capitalism, you have to capitalize on all your skills. And I feel like I'm an amazing writer, and I think I'm pretty good at sales. So I think that's what grant writing is. I'm really good at research as well. So I'm hoping to get some funding for our content group, Sisters of Influence. I've mentioned it before. I've hosted panels and conversations on the channel with my group member, Dr. Maya. And so I feel like people in the group have really given their presence and made connections on their own within the group. And I would really love to be able to hold space and provide actual financial edification to our efforts towards creating content. So that's what I bought this book for. Not bought, got from the library. I still think that this is valuable and I need to glean something from it. So with that said, the content for this channel, I am thinking of posting more conversations. I've been really inspired by the conversations I've been paneling, but these will be more like yap sessions. And so I have a friend, Vani, I've mentioned her on the channel before, and we talk about some really big themes, like popular things happening in the TikTok trend world and or in the YouTube content world, and spanning out into wider themes about work, both of us being one foot in the freelance world and who are navigating travel and or relocating or living abroad or moving abroad or plans to do so. And I feel like our conversations are interesting in that way because it's like, we basically, it's hard to find conversations between Black women online like this. You have a lot of people giving information, which is great. But I think it would be interesting to kind of just talk about the state of the world as we see it, the state of relationships and things like that. So that's something that will be coming up hopefully this year. So when it comes to redesigning your life for ADHD, I want to do a deeper dive on this, but I gotta say health and physical health is number one. If you haven't researched how environment and nutrition really can really support or suppress how you function with ADHD, I think it really is so important. Look up not only therapy, like, therapy that you can get from a licensed therapist, but also nature therapy, music therapy, could be, I wouldn't say retail therapy because I feel like people with ADHD may have issues with impulse and spending and money management. So maybe that's a therapy you can kind of stay away from. But social therapy, water therapy, go to your nearest body of water and like just sit by it, meditation, journaling, these types of things are really important, but nutritional therapy can be so important. And I feel as though whether it be changing your diet, whether it be cooking, sourcing and cooking your own food and creating a life where you have the time to do that, it is incredibly worth it. Teaming up with somebody who has the means and the resources to do so. Like, I cannot stress enough how important community is and how important it really is to me to just make my life happen. I mean, we take it for granted so much. And I know that it's a privilege, even it's a right to have a community, but it's also a privilege. And even me just being able to stay with family while I navigate through the surgery situation and being able to transition my life back to where I was is going to be incredible. And it's through community that supports me. They can put you on to different job leads. They can help you see things in yourself that you don't see. They can help you cultivate your talents if you're in a place to hear that. I don't know how to get someone from a place of not hearing that to hearing that, but I know that when the student is ready, the teacher appears, and teachers can come in so many forms. Stay open to new opportunities. When I looked at like how I'm going to position myself in the market this time around, as I, seek an opportunity that's really truly fits my desired lifestyle, I'm like, it doesn't have to look like what it looked like before. The main thing that I care about is the conditions of the job and the working, like the conditions and the lifestyle that I'm going to be able to live with the job in terms of the pay that it provides, but also in terms of like time freedom. I want a job where when the work is done, it's done. On the interview that I did about my journey to Mexico on Dr. Maya's channel, someone asked about relocation support. I'm already working with one client kind of as an experiment and a test to kind of see what her needs are and how we can serve them. But then it's something that I'm open to. And I can say this, I really feel like I'm regaining my capacity to be able to show and share and sell more of my like skills to the marketplace and even people within my circle, because at the end of the day, I didn't have a coach to help me really through any of this. I had two therapists though when it came to like being diagnosed and working with ADHD. Yes, I didn't really have a coach when it came to relocating. I had no idea what I was in store for. It was just an impetus within me that made me want to do it, so I did it. But I did have some support in the early stages with my sister. I mean, she's the reason that, she's the one who suggested where I should go. But I mean, there's just things that she couldn't have known. And there's things that in the day-to-day you just encounter that you just accept because it's just a part of the process. I think one of my strengths is helping people with their mindset more than anything else, but I can also help with some of the more logistical things and practical things as well. And I think that suffices right now for a life update. I just wanted to kind of bring some things into focus as to where I am right now, just to show you like this never really ends, and this is a process, and there's really no way to ever get this whole thing figured out. I mean, the tides have changed so much. I mean, look at where we are economically, politically, and technologically. Who would have ever thought that such a lucrative shoe-in job such as a software engineer could even be in the position that it is now? Me and Bonnie were just talking about this. Like, it is totally different now because of AI and what AI is not well suited to do, but everybody has fear around it's replacing those jobs as well, like some customer service, so on and so forth. So AI is not necessarily all that great at replacing humans in that way, but we are moving in that direction in a certain way. So I say that to say, when you're in the marketplace of selling your skills, and when you have ADHD and you're someone who tends to probably change jobs every couple of years instead of staying on a job for like 10 or 15 years, that you need to know how to navigate that. I mean, that's something I can support with as well. I did have interview training and resume training, and I've worked with coaches on my own resume. I've worked with them in boot camp type settings in order to be able to approach job searching a little differently. I feel like you got to do mass applying along with deep networking and building relationships. And I feel like it's just time to get flexible. It's time to tap into a different vision of how you're going to situate yourself in the world and in society today, because I want to eventually be work optional. So I don't want to be in this game forever, but while I'm here, I intend to play it well, but in a way that doesn't corrode me or erode me and my being, So how do you do that? I mean, sometimes it's just a matter of someone presenting different solutions. I'm great at that. Sometimes it's just a matter of someone providing a different perspective. That's what I'm here for. So through these videos, definitely take advantage. Go back and watch some of the others, because I speak on different aspects of like how it is to live in the world with ADHD. I share my experience. That's why I'm here. And I think it's time to take this relationship deeper for those of you who want to do that and reach out to me one-on-one. Yeah, let's refine this and let's figure out where we are with things, and let's keep it pushing. So I hope you're well. I hope that you're definitely remembering the God in you, and you're remembering that you have the power to envision a different reality and to start putting those things in place and taking one step towards it and creating the life that you deserve and the life that you envision for yourself. So that's all that's going on with me, y'all. Take care.